Welcome back to Hardball. Alaska Governor Sarah Palin plans to resign in just 19 days. So what happens after that? NBC's Andrea Mitchell tried to get some answers from the governor herself today. She joins us from Anchorage, Alaska. We're also joined by Politico's chief columnist Roger Simon. Here's Governor Palin talking about how being John McCain's running mate changed things in Alaska. Let's listen.
I knew that I wasn't going to run for re-election. I knew that everything changed on August 29th in politics in Alaska. That's the day that I was tapped to run for Vice President of the United States. Things changed, and it was quite obvious that nothing would ever be the same for our administration.
Are you sorry now you said yes to John McCain on August 29th?
Not in the least. Absolutely not. It was a great honor to stand by a true American hero. I believe in John McCain. I appreciate him. I honor him. And I would have done all that, again, in a heartbeat.
Andrea Mitchell, another amazing interview, and it sounds pretty convincing. I'd have to agree with her. Everything certainly did change the day John McCain chose her to be VP.
No, I think that is true. I think that the Democrats who had worked with her here in Anchorage before that viewed her as the attack dog from the campaign, which is the role that she played, and were no longer willing to work cooperatively. The Republicans had always been her enemies here. You saw the statement from Senator Lisa Murkowski, the Republican senator, criticizing her for quitting in the middle of the term. And even some of Palin's supporters, as I pointed out to her in the interview in Wasilla, where we were for a couple of days, were telling us that they felt she should have stuck it out. But she felt that she had done what she wanted to do, and look, she has a much wider landscape, a much wider terrain now. She can make a lot of money. She doesn't have the hassles of running the government, and she knows she does not want to be governor of Alaska. She was really not happy in this job when she came back.
You know, the lesson of that videotape that we're watching right now is, for any American politician, do not try to hide out from Andrea Mitchell. She is going to find you no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. Roger Simon, where do you think she goes from here?
I think she goes pretty much any place she wants. I think if she wants a political future, if she wants to run in 2012, she has a real shot at it. Look, she's popular right now. I really believe, I honestly believe, if the Republicans were nominating a presidential candidate today, Sarah Palin would be it. I mean, you know, look at the list. Tim Pawlenty, Bobby Jindal, Haley Barbour, Mike Huckabee, Mitt Romney, all fine men who might build powerful political campaigns, but Sarah Palin is popular right now. How popular? She can do an interview with Andrea Mitchell wearing waders and make it look real. She is not a cookie-cutter candidate. She looks real. She sounds real. I think that's appealing.
Well, you know, luckily for Pawlenty and Romney and those guys, they're not picking the nominee today, and they've got some time to try to distinguish themselves. Now, here's Andrea asking Governor Palin about running for president. Let's listen to that one.
Can you imagine yourself running for president?
I don't know what the future holds. Can't predict what the next fish run's going to look like, much less what's going to happen in a couple of years. But my focus is on my state still, and it always will be.
Some people have said that you saw the bright lights from the national campaign and came back, and it was very hard to readjust to the nitty-gritty work of
the nitty-gritty, like you mean the fish slime and the dirt under the fingernails and stuff that is me?
The state capitol, the hard legislative slog.
No, that's not. I am a fighter. I thrive on challenge. That is a challenge.
Now, Andrea, we've got a hot new Gallup poll from Monday night. It finds that overall, 43% say they'd vote for Sarah Palin for president if she ran for president, or they might vote for her if she ran for president. 54% say no, they would not vote for her for president. Among Republicans, Roger Simon, 72% say they would vote for Palin, so that supports your if the nomination were today. But, Andrea, what is your bet now? Do you think that you went up to Alaska and found a woman who is quitting politics, or someone who is planning her political future?
I think I found someone who is frustrated with the political situation here on the ground and sees a broader political future, but also a different career with the book, with paid speeches. She can make a lot of money. She can have a much nicer life. I think she wants to be an influence in speaking for social conservatives, and she does have a lot of support, as this poll indicates. And as Roger has said, I think she has damaged herself with party leaders, including some of her own most fervent supporters and fundraisers. I think that, Roger, I know that you wrote in your column on Politico that the establishment figures might not have liked her statement because it came from the heart, because it wasn't programmed, it wasn't done by, party strategists, but there was a rambling quality to it. And in fact, she has to think more clearly about the issues and be able to express herself. She got through the debate well, I thought, with Joe Biden, but she still proved herself lacking, I think, on the national stage in terms of articulating issues that went beyond slogans. That's where I think her critics, at least, would say she has a lot more hard work to do if she wants to be a national candidate.
Now, one of the hot rumors or hot possibilities about her is that she might go into the talk show business. Now, let's listen to Andrea asking Governor Palin about the possibility of a talk show.
You started out in television a long time ago. Can you see yourself doing a talk show? Could you reach more people that way? Would that be fun?
I don't know, again, what the future would hold. I know that I certainly don't need any kind of title or a high position to affect the change that needs to be affected in our nation. And what has to happen right now is we need to rein in government. Obama is growing government. It's the last thing that we need to do right now.
Roger, she's saying she doesn't need any kind of title. Maybe just a talk show would do it when you listen to that answer. What do you think?
I got to say, I think Andrea is correct that Governor Palin has to become more polished and more, up to speed on some things. But look at that exchange right there. She went from a question about doing a talk show to attacking big government. I mean, she's got some skills there, and I think it was just 9 months ago that Sarah Palin gave a disastrous interview to Katie Couric, and you'd figure she's going to hide out from network interviews for the rest of her life. Now she's out there. She's given interviews to Andrea. She's given interviews. She is quitting her job as governor of Alaska, and I think Andrea's absolutely right. She hates being governor of Alaska right now, but I don't think she's a quitter. I think she's willing to stand up, and take all that's thrown at her. And maybe she will find out as she goes around the country giving speeches that, as politicians often do, they get swept away by the roar of the crowd, and maybe that will convince Governor Palin to go back into political life by 2012.
Well, she could try to hide out, but once Andrea Mitchell was on that plane to Alaska, there was no way. Thank you, Andrea Mitchell and Roger Simon.